Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso here on SABC3. Hoping you're having a lovely Tuesday with us so far. It's been action-packed for us.
It has been action-packed, yeah. It's a full show, actually. But you know what? Exactly. Now, today is actually not just any other Tuesday. It is actually World Environmental Day.
Yeah. And today, the theme of this year's World Environment Day is green economy. And a bit later on, we're going to be showing you the top 10 ecological evolutions or technological evolutions that have kind of promoted a green economy. Because, you know, we need to do that. Looking back in the day in 2007 when the whole economic crisis went on, is because we are depleting the world's resources without actually considering what the effects thereof are.
Exactly.
So we need to think a bit further than that.
But I mean, we're getting there. I mean, we have some great innovative stuff out there that's really helping to green this planet. But I mean, talking about green economy, what is a green economy?
Yeah.
What do you think it means?
I think it implies that, like I said in the beginning, we need to think about how we utilize the world's resources because we only have a limited and finite amount thereof. And once it's done, like, what happens then? You can't print any more money if there's no trees. You know?
I don't think it's just about that as well. It's about taking the economy as we know it today in terms of your transport industry, your employment, and all of that kind of thing, and then just kind of greening that.
Exactly.
I mean, that is a challenge on its own.
Yeah. Anyway, right now, though, it's time for us to take a look at a bit of your youth sport, because lots been happening around the country. There's been hockey, there's been surfing, there's been rugby, big-time school clashes. Oh, man, we've got some video footage for you, and just watch the last little clip. It's going to be all good, but this guy totally gets steamrolled. Or as they say in rugby talk,
stoomroller.
Bounced.
Oh, bounced.
Check it out.
As we round up the recent junior action, the quality rugby continued this weekend, which saw records being broken all over the country, and further abroad, SA surfers dominating. Bianca Buitendach claimed the Swatch Girls Pro France Pro Junior title on Saturday, and Jordy Smith is having another blinder in the Volcom Fiji Pro to progress directly to round 3 of stop number 4 of 10 on the 2012 ASP World Tour. This was Buitendach's second straight victory of the European Pro Junior season after her win earlier this year in Vendi, and saw the 18-year-old from George in the Southern Cape pocketing a cool $1,200 or approximately 10,000 rand. Meanwhile, on Tavarua Island in Fiji, Jordy Smith kicked off his campaign for the Volcom Pro title in excellent 2 to 2.5 meter waves at the iconic Cloud Break, with a late drop into a deep backhand barrel, earning an excellent 9-point score for the ride en route to his round 1 victory over Hawaiian Frederick Patachia and Californian Brett Simpson. Now on to rugby and hockey and another derby weekend. St Andrews College defeated Queen's College on Saturday, 31 points to 8. The team from Grahamstown will now prepare themselves for a battle royale with Selborne College, one of Queen's fiercest rivals. Rondebosch Boys High suffered only their second defeat of the season when they lost to a resurgent Paul Roos by 17 points this past weekend. The boys from Paul are turning their season around, this their second consecutive win. Michael House continued their impressive season with a resounding victory against Northwood. Michael House's defence came out trumps as they managed to halt Northwood from scoring a single point in the fixture. The final score there, a dominant 44-0. In our first featured match of the weekend, Kearsney upset Maritzburg College with a 30-10 victory. Kearsney went into the change room leading 27-3 and only managed to add an extra 3 points to their scoreline, but more importantly, only conceded 1 try in that second half. Down in the Cape, there was a festive mood out at SACS as they played host to a travelling Rondebosch for yet another derby day. SACS were completely dominated in the hockey, with Rondebosch driving into the D at every opportunity. The Bosch forwards wreaked havoc with their silky skills and fast-paced attack. SACS could not form a decent attack for the duration of the game and conceded 5 goals in the second half. They did manage 1 consolation goal, but they were just not good enough on the day. The final score 6-1 to Rondebosch. A short trip towards the mountain and we're getting ready for the first team rugby. Rondebosch had not lost against SACS for over 5 years, and the pressure was clearly telling on the players. Sideline skipper Donnie Crano could only look on. Both teams started the match on a high tempo, tackles aplenty coming from both ends, the breakdown at the heart of all of the first half action. The first try belonged to SACS after a loose pass from the Rondebosch backline was picked up by Sui, who sprinted to the try line and finished under the posts. Rondebosch replied with a try of their own when the forwards drove over in the corner. The game was evenly poised before Sui got his second of the day, thanks to sustained pressure from the SACS lads. After that, it was all SACS as the Navy and Whites continued to dominate proceedings. Captain Calder and Sui were amongst a number of players who could have walked away with the Expresso Man of the Match award, but the real praise must be reserved for the SACS defence, putting in vital tackles when called upon and driving the Rondies back throughout the 60 minutes. The school and the boys were beyond delighted with the victory. The final score there, 36-17. Dale College's impressive run of form was ended this past weekend as they succumbed to the brute force of Grey High School in Port Elizabeth on Saturday. Grey managed to rack up 22 points against the team affectionately known as the All Blacks. Dale will now play Cambridge High School next and will be hoping this defeat is not a turning point to their otherwise brilliant season. This week, we close out with a humongous bounce coming out of the clash between Dale College and Gens High School. Who you calling a schoolboy?